Fraud. He knows I'm hurting. Why would he push it today? Because I figured, okay, maybe we're just going to do 4 tomorrow. But I was just thinking that's kind of a little bit, because I'm hurting.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV, straight out of Long Island, New York. It's Thursday night. It's 9 p.m., and we're here to say hello to everybody. Welcome for joining us at the board, Matty Ice. Matty, how are you, my friend?
Amazing as always.
How was the rain, okay? We got a little rain here. We're getting that Florida rain coming through.
It was a bit much. But we made it, and
we made it.
That's all I can say.
Well, we're glad you made it. That is the #1 producer in all of broadcasting television.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And the #1 star
Wow.
in all of pro wrestling broadcasting is the man to my right, Mr. Jimmy Pharaoh. Jimmy, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. I've been up since 4 a.m. and I'm completely freaking delirious. How are you?
All right.
Good.
I want to welcome some people out there. We got 802 Blues with us. 802, we love you, my friend.
Absolutely.
We've got one of the greatest people we have been graced to know.
Ace, really?
No.
Oh, who you got?
Miss Maria Davis. Welcome aboard.
Yes, Maria Davis. That I agree with.
Jay Blow, what's up? Todd, how are you doing? JJ, how are you, my friend? Glad just a few people out there were just recognizing. Thank you again, guys, for all the support and joining this show. Anyway.
What? No, wait a minute. No Rick B cup?
No Rick B.
Where's-
Say hello to Rick B.
Hey, Ricky! What else you got?
Got some news. I guess I missed it.
Oh, no, not
We've
again
lost
with the hat. What?
another wrestler,
Oh,
former WCCW and USWA star, Mr. Chris Youngblood. Chris Romero has passed away at the age 55. Chris wrestled with his brother Mark as the Youngbloods. He was the son of legendary Ricky Romero. He was trained by his father and got into pro wrestling at age 13. Pharaoh, I don't remember much about Chris Youngblood. I do know the name. I think I remember a few matches in WCCW.
Yep.
But I'd be remiss to say that I know much more than that. Do you have anything you could share?
I can't add a ton, but I can add that, he replaced his brother, Jay, who I do remember somewhat for sure. Jay had been a tag team champion, Mid-Atlantic and other areas, and he replaced him to team with the other brother, Mark. And early on in his career, he feuded with Stone Cold Steve Austin, a very young Stone Cold Steve Austin, so that's interesting. Him and his brother also had some success over in Puerto Rico. You know I'm a bit of a mark for the Puerto Rican wrestling. Don't ask me why I am. I'm interested in WWC. So again, how old was he?
55.
Jeez, did they say from what?
No, I did not find it.
Man. It's just
well,
sad.
rest in peace, Mr. Youngblood. Thank you for what you've done to the wrestling industry. For everybody out there, right, we'll get into it very shortly, coming off of last Thursday's show. But, again, the one thing we all have in common is the love for the great sport of professional wrestling. And, yes,
hope so.
I did call it a sport.
Yeah, it is to me. Well, what do I know?
So,
Quite a bit.
Little news on legend Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Terry Funk, some news had come out that he was getting close to the end.
Doing really badly.
And he was doing very poorly.
All right.
He was in an assisted living home and was diagnosed with dementia. But Tommy Dreamer put out there that, Funk is doing okay. And he said something on Busted Open Radio about it. We got to meet Mr. Funk
a
couple of years back.
Sure did.
Can you talk about maybe your thoughts on Terry Funk? And again, we're hoping, coming off of the Paul Orndorff thing and this, We're hoping for the best here.
Yeah, you don't have guys like Mick Foley without Terry Funk. Terry Funk is one of the truly toughest guys that ever participated in this sport.
By the way, C.J. Duncan says Pharaoh bought out Gorilla Monsoon's portion of Puerto Rico, since you love that so much.
Yeah, there you go. Wait a minute, where did I get the money, bro? I got the money for that. Terry Funk, man. You know, I remember when we met him too. You could tell that Terry was struggling with the mental facilities. His wife was still alive at the time, and she was a real sweetheart. And I remember it was really strange because he was signing for people. For some reason, he got very interested in the Pharaohs band. And he wanted to know about Wisteria Hall, and he wanted to know about us working with Eddie Kramer from Zeppelin. And he was so interested in it. And I felt bad almost, because I felt a little awkward because there were other people waiting to talk to him. And he was really enjoying the conversation. I could see his wife signal to me. Trying to get him back. No, that was fine, because I let her know I agree. You know, there's other people and stuff. Terry, meanwhile, was like, whoa, how did it go? I love Eddie Kramer, great work and stuff. It was just, you know, Terry was so nice.
Todd B. Kraft, Terry was great in Roadhouse. He was great in Roadhouse, and I think that Sly Stallone movie with the arm wrestling, Over the Top, he was good in that. And, you know, a lot of people forget about that. Please, someone out there remind me, the wrestling Stallone one with the wrestling with they wrestle in the ring with his brother. Do you remember that one? Back in the late 70s.
Right.
Terry Funk was in that one. Boy, did I love that. If someone remembers that, that'd be great.
Right. That's a classic, boy. Wow.
Smoky Black Eyes, welcome aboard. Phil, yes, we are hoping that Terry Funk does kick out.
Man, please. I heard about Orndorff, too, this week. Orndorff's having
Look,
issues,
man,
right?
everybody's getting old.
Of course.
Getting old.
Of course, yeah.
That's what
You're
happens.
trying to somber me up, man. I've been all out of control all day.
Former
terrible.
WWE star Aleister Black debuts in a shocker last night on AEW as Malik Black.
Did he kick
Malika
anybody?
Black.
Did he throw one of his kicks?
That's pretty much what he did.
That's it. That's what he does. He kicks, and he kicks some more, and he kicks. I don't know, man. I don't think it's world-changing. I know that he has his fans, and I understand that. I actually have been a fan of his before, but I kind of got bored with Aleister Kick. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I kind of did.
What is? Look, I'm not a huge AEW fan. I'm just not. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
And maybe
like
it's because
aspects
it's the homer in me about the WWE,
Yeah.
right? I'm a little bit of
Well,
a
they
homer.
don't stand a chance. But that's, we both know that.
But
Go on.
I'm trying to figure out what's the game plan. You keep bringing these old WWE guys in, right, that get let go.
Yeah.
And then the other ones that you brought in 3 weeks before that get pushed to the side.
Right. And it's not really very. Look.
Is it shock value?
I don't know what it is. I just think that are they really any different than WCW or any of the other ones that operated this way? Let's just take Vince's leftovers and hope for the best. That's how it feels to me. Sometimes.
You know what?
I mean, there are some other great things about AEW I do like MJF.
I really think that AEW is a legitimate threat. Just because I've never seen so much hatred for the WWE that I see from.
That's true. We should never
the wrestling
underestimate
fan.
that is true. That is true. And they are in the ballpark. Remember I said to you when this whole thing first started that because of WWE not having great ratings like they did back in the day, 2 million, I said to you when this whole thing started, hey, they get 1 million, they're in the game. And they've gotten 1 million from time to time with the views, and they're in the game.
They're in the game, especially since Raw's ratings are just dumping,
I still
right?
don't think they stand a chance at the end of the day because they are fighting Godzilla, and, King Kong can't breathe fire. Oh, shot at King Kong across the Japanese bow.
There you go. And also, we've talked about this, right? When you've been a known commodity for so long, it's very hard to break through.
That's true, but they've done a good job, though. I mean, they've only been around a couple of years now, right? They've done a good job. But I just don't do cartwheels for some of their, the guys on the roster. And the main event was a tag match, Eddie Kingston and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
by the way, man, I'm not getting this whole Eddie Kingston thing, man.
What are you talking
about?
Ahmed
says MJF is awesome. That guy cracks me up. MJF is good, man. He's very good.
I love him. I think he's great. I'm an Omega fan. I know you're not.
I'm not an Omega guy.
You're not.
Can't stand Omega.
I love Kenny Omega. I think he's great. I think he would have been greater if he had come to Vince's. But then again, we all know what Vince may or may not have done with him. Who knows? He didn't do it to AJ, so maybe he wouldn't have done it to Kenny.
But go back to that other clown.
Maybe.
Go back to that other clown that you were just talking about.
There's a lot of clowns.
The clown in the tag team match.
Yeah. Oh, Kingston.
Kingston.
What are you mad at him for? He delivered your milk every day last week. What are you upset about? What is he, Kevin Owens light to you? Because I know how you feel about Kevin Owens. I mean,
802 says
I love
out there,
Kevin Owens.
AEW are something else, though. They think no other wrestling exists and
true.
don't dare to say they messed something up. It's crazy.
right.
Well, I think like a lot of things out there, 802 and everybody, is that if you act like it didn't happen,
Right.
maybe it'll go away.
Right.
Hey, that's a good segue.
Can we talk about that? Oh, maybe it'll go.
It's a little bit of a segue.
Wait,
Not yet,
okay.
though. Not
All right.
yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Back to Kingston.
Oh, I thought we were going to get into that fake punch Jericho threw at the guy who ran into the ring.
Yeah, real quick. Talk about that's another thing. We were watching that video.
Yeah.
That was a fake punch with a fake fan.
You have to see the right video with the right angle. It's ridiculous.
It's fake.
Stop.
It's fake. We all got worked again.
That was pretty funny.
We got worked again.
Yeah, that was
Then
pretty
people, no, that was real. No, that was another work with a fake punch and everything else.
Speaking of getting work, did you know that there are people who stay up after midnight to write things about the Pharaoh?
I heard that.
I am impressed.
Hey,
I'm impressed.
you're making your mark.
Wow.
You're making your mark.
Freaking
I'd like to
cool.
thank the band. They're making their mark, too. That sings the theme song for Monte the Pharaoh, our own Jimmy Farrow, along with his partner, Bart Griggs. They make up the band Wisteria Hall.
Yeah.
Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. You can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Please subscribe, hit that like button. Catch their music, or download their music out of Spotify or Apple Tunes, right? Or
Certainly.
Reverb Nation.
Yeah.
If you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte the Pharaoh. You can catch us on the Monte the Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monte the Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor. Catch us on the Twitch TV Monte the Pharaoh page. And if you're lucky enough to live in New York, you get to catch us 3 times a week on channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30. And for early risers, channel 115 on Saturday from 6 a.m. to 6:30. And channel 20, that's on a Friday, that's a couple hours from now, from 2 a.m. to 2:30, where people could be really watching down to Bedazzled in Beantown. That's playing right now. So if you didn't catch that on YouTube or any other social media and you live in New York, go to channel 20 and you can get Bedazzled in Beantown and figure out. But speaking of that, we'll be back after this commercial break to discuss last week's interview with WWE legend Marty Jannetty and the fallout that's come about from that interview. We'll be right back.
See you in a sec.
Hi, it's John from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Farrow.
Yeah, what's up, JB?
Nah, nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to underthetablehotsauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. Underthetablehotsauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Mindy Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. Jimmy, we had some fallout from last Thursday.
Ooh, what did you do?
When we interviewed-
What did I do? What did you do? Come on, tell me what you do. What did you do? Did you ruffle some feathers?
So,
What'd you do?
if anyone isn't
Go ahead.
aware,
Go ahead.
we had future WWE Hall of Famer, at least in our mind.
Oh, yeah. He'll be,
Marty
one day.
Jannetty.
Yeah,
To
definitely.
speak about an incident that happened on another channel. Really wouldn't have been too interested in it.
No.
But then I had a lot of people reaching out to me and the show and saying, hey,
Right.
you know, this video was up and you got to see it.
There
and
we
this
were.
is what happened.
Minding our own business,
Right.
which we were.
And we
Go on.
thought that it's only the right thing to do is pick up the phone. Mm-hmm. Say, what's up, Marty? Right? Because, you know, we know quite a few people.
How you doing, Mikey?
Yep. And we said, hey, what happened? And he went into it. I said, you know what? Why don't you just come on the show?
Yeah.
And he said, absolutely, Monty.
Right.
And
Because
he came
Marty
on.
Jannetty, you deserve a forum.
That's right.
Go on.
So
No, silence him! Silence him! Don't let him say anything! Freedom of speech must die! I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. Go
so
ahead.
we
No bets
asked
tonight.
him questions about what happened.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought Marty answered those questions without trying to be too aggressive. Is that a proper word?
No, Marty was trying to, he was trying to coast there, I don't want to like hit anybody on the way to the bar.
802 says that we were talked about in the video also. Thank you, 802.
Thank you.
So I thought the interview went off well. I thought basically the two guys, the guy from Boston Wrestling, since he won't use our name, we won't use his, so we'll be fair there. Nah, fuck that. Dan Marotti. So
Go on.
I thought they were fine.
He has potty mouth, by the way.
He does have potty
We
mouth.
haven't said one four-letter thing involving this creature of foulness. Not one four-letter thing.
So-
Keeping it clean. Potty mouth.
Marotti was on his show talking about the Marty thing with the whole, Marty's got all these problems, but I'm a friend of his. Marty needs to go to rehab, and he's a danger to people. And I'm not using exact words, so if anyone's out there that's trolling this
I
whole
love
thing,
you, but you're an absolute fuck-up.
right, pretty much, right?
Okay, there we go.
Or I really
I'm
don't
loving-
love you. In fact, I love the fact that you're a fuck-up because then I can make money off of you. But then when you kind of call me out on a video, which is, from what I understand, happened, I never saw the video.
Right.
I'm going to pull it down so no one has it.
And
So
you
Marty
never
has his
will?
points, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
So we have this interview. It seems okay. And then I was like, it's kind of a long interview.
Yeah.
A lot of people watched it.
Yeah.
But let's do a condensed version, like our cable version, right? But
Absolutely.
before our cable version.
Right.
And I said, let's just get the bullet points that Marty said.
Right.
Well, that didn't seem to go over well with Marotti. He thought
I thought it went fantastic.
well, so did I.
Okay, well, that takes care of that.
So he didn't like it.
Sorry.
And again, I know this is kind of revisionist history to everybody. I don't want to bore everybody. He didn't like it.
I'm laughing.
So then he started, I guess he went on. He said something on one of his shows, and then he was on with Oscar from Men on a Mission.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
And they were talking about it. And he called us a couple of assholes and sunglasses. Who
And
cares?
Oscar gave him some very good advice from what I
So,
think.
when you do, Stinger says, can't blame Dan, though, calling him a fraud, not cool.
That was Eric.
Hold
I
on.
didn't do that.
Hold on. I want to respond to this.
Wait a minute, I did do that.
I'm going
Sorry.
to say this to the people, right? I appreciate the fact that Marotti's got loyal fans like you, Stinger.
Sure.
Right? There's
Hey,
nothing.
Wait a second, Stinger's cool. Haven't we heard from him before?
Yeah. So, but he's and there's plenty
It's
more people
okay.
loyal to the channel. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I'm going to say this to you, Stinger. I really wasn't going to get involved in this, but then after Dan decided to push some buttons, I said, I don't really know much about this guy, so let me start the look.
Right.
And it was really easy.
It's
it
not-
was like,
Yeah.
you see the Iron Sheik video. Obviously, we had Tony. Again, we had Tony on months before.
Right.
Because Tony called me and was complaining to me, and I said, then talk about it.
Yeah.
Because whether or not, you got to realize that the fans are important to these guys, too. They don't want you to think ill will of them.
Of course.
And we're trying to give a forum. We're not trying to cause heat, but don't you want to hear? I mean, I think this is all about. You want to hear the truth. Right. And then you want to be able to make your decision. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. Well, at the end
Maria Davis, yes, I like my sunglasses, too.
There we go.
So we're giving you that option, and so people are saying it's not like Stinger says, not cool calling Dan a fraud. First of all, you said it. We didn't call him a fraud.
No, I did call him a fraud just now. It's a
you
joke.
did?
But
Okay.
I did it as a joke, though, because I thought Eric's thing was funny.
But Eric called him a fraud.
Yeah.
Right? That's Eric's opinion.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Iron Sheik, I mean, they clearly say. Go ahead.
Can I say this to
Go
Stinger?
ahead.
Can I say this to
Take
Stinger?
over.
Stinger, this is what I feel about it, just coming from my end. And if anybody knows that I mind my own business, it's this guy right here. I do mind my own business. Half the time, you have to be like, Pharaoh, did you hear this? And I'm like, what? What now? Who's doing what? But it goes like this for me. From what I've seen of this person, who I won't call curse words, who did it, the other way, sent curse words flying the other way, which I
Wait a
thought
minute,
was
hold on. No, he's got kids.
Who's got kids?
That
The guy who's
person.
flinging
He's got
curse words?
kids, and he doesn't want his kids to see all these bad things about
He's
him.
flinging profanities around like they're going
Again,
out of style.
he's got kids.
Right?
Just saying.
He's also got a big giant crucifix.
Go
Those
ahead.
curse words don't go very well.
Rowley, you support both channel. This is the hottest thing in wrestling. We appreciate that, brother. Go ahead, Pharaoh.
Anyway, getting back to Stinger and all the other guys who, were upset and, calling us names or whatever, and I actually think it's hilarious. Oh my God, people are up after midnight writing about me. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. I am flattered. But it goes something like this. What bothers me about the guy in Boston is the MO, his how he operates, and it seems to me that he gets a hold of guys like Tony Atlas, Marty Jannetty, the Iron Sheik. There's been others, Kamala, who I understand he called Kamala a effing pussy when they had
Language.
a disagreement. I said
Russell
effing,
Campbell says, "Preach, Jimmy."
But what bothers me is that if you notice with all these guys, Marty and everyone I mentioned, Tony, Sheik, Kamala, all down on their luck a lot of the time. Okay, remember what my partner said a lot. You can't have it both ways. You can't start calling them a bunch of crackheads and losers and junkies and then love them to death and then get mad when they want to share how they've been mistreated. Okay? So let's remember that. But it bothers me that he seems to get a hold of guys who've had a lot of problems. And then he brings in these guys who are desperate for cash, obviously. And then he has them in for hours and hours of block time to just get the most, like a sponge. Let me get the most out of this sponge that I can. These are people. Guys, these are people. So I do have a problem with that. And for those of you who are mad at us for allowing Marty to talk about it, you really want Marty to not be able to say what he wants? You'd prefer the world to be that way. I don't think so, guys. So understand, at the end of the day, it was really about Marty being allowed to speak his piece, and we let him. It was Marty's opinion. Whether or not you think we're going after somebody or not, well, I just don't like the MO, guys. That's what the Pharaoh was saying to every single person out there at home right now.
But wait a minute,
Don't prey on people like this. It's like a track record.
Marathi did say, though, that we were kind of pushing Jannetty a certain way, which I found totally, again, going back to what I say, if you keep saying it, you're hoping someone's going to believe it. If you listen to that interview and you watch that interview, there's no pushing. It's a very basic question and answer thing.
Oh, so when Marty spends 20 minutes almost talking about his horror show at the airport, and I say, it sounds like you're off to a really rocky start. Right. Wow, what are you doing? Oh, my God, what are you insinuating here? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Now, as for that
by the way, Stinger
beautiful
says,
Cablevision
in that case,
version.
In that case, he says Vince McMahon is a fraud too.
Hey, what am I going to do? Start disagreeing with your opinion on this? This is your opinion.
That's right.
I
agree
respect that. And I'm sure that Vince has done a lot of crappy things, but I'm also sure he's done a lot of good things. Guys, welcome to wrestling and welcome to the world.
That's right.
It's so blurred, guys. We all know this, okay? All I ask is that, you know what? Say whatever you want, man. I mean, just try to keep it somewhat, kosher. Because I'm certainly not going to start writing about you guys that say these nasty things. It's kind of cool, though. What's wrong with me? I'm flattered. Are you flattered, Mike?
I'm flattered that we've met so many good friends that watch our show on a regular basis. I'm flattered by that.
Thank you to all those folks who were sticking
if you want
up for what they
if you want to ask me like the truth,
yeah,
I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah,
I could buy Dan Marathi 3 times over. I mean, seriously.
What am I going to argue with facts? I'm not arguing with that. Oh,
here's a reality. Here's some reality too.
Oh God.
I don't like people being taken advantage. We've known each other a long time.
Yeah, man.
Look, I understand business, right? And
yeah.
a couple of people have said it, and I can't disagree. Marty Jannetty gets paid to go sit there for 6 hours, and he makes that agreement, and he signs on the dotted line or whatever kind of agreement. That's fine.
That's fine.
That's all well and good.
Absolutely.
But you know what? There comes a time you can't sit there and go, this guy needs help, he's high all the time, and call it, like you said 2 weeks ago, a Marty party. What are you expecting?
The title of the did you guys ever at home think about that? Party with Marty, the Marty Party. And I had said to my partner earlier this week, before the great Scott Whalen had passed away from Stone Temple Pilots, let's just pretend Monte and the Pharaoh does a music podcast. And we book Scott Whalen to be on. Nice blocks time to time. He's part of the show. He's part of the channel. Would you like us to call it Shooting with Scott? You're encouraging this guy to do this. I feel that way.
My whole point.
I mean, party with Marty. Yeah, Marty, go party. Yeah, Marty. How are you going to feel when you read the article that Marty finally partied that one last time too hard? Let's not have that happen.
I'm gonna say another thing too.
know?
I don't know who out there could be struggling, right? It's tough out there, right? Trying to make money.
Hells yeah.
You just went through a friggin' pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Here's one thing for everybody to chew on, especially all the, hey, this guy Dan's a good guy. He's going to Florida all the time. You know what his job is? His job's YouTube. Just saying. That's his job, YouTube. That's a fact. He goes to Florida, though. Well, maybe a bunch of you are sitting at home because you can't even afford to leave your house. Right? That's all I'm saying. So, someone's making money off these wrestlers then, if that was my only job. This is not even my job. This is something we do because we enjoy it and we want to talk about it.
And why don't we get to the real heart of the matter? Any one of you guys want to go around and ask the wrestlers how they've been treated with us? You ain't going to find shit because we take care of the wrestlers. And we don't work them too hard. We don't work them hard at all, to tell you the truth. They got it good with us, and we got it good with them, and we're all happy. Don't play games.
Again.
Don't play games.
Again, I've heard, I think, Maria, if I got this right, and tell me if I'm correct, you were being kind enough, you were going to donate to some sort of charity, and forgive me if I don't remember the exact thing, but tell me if I'm speaking out of turn. And, all of a sudden, he wasn't using the money where you wanted it. He was supposed to be using it. I mean, there's something wrong there.
What? Wow. That'd be ugly. Ugh.
A mess says, it doesn't
thanks.
matter what career field you work in, there's always be employers who treat their employees in disposable assets. Anyone who works in trades will understand I'm taking. You know what? That's a true point.
It's true.
Life's tough.
It's true.
Life's tough.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard.
It absolutely is.
But I'm going to tell you what, we're going to allow people to speak their word. That's all I know.
Yep. And I ain't going to be worrying about calling anybody names because you feel the way you do. God bless you. It's the way you feel.
So in the end, with the fallout,
yeah,
there really is no fallout.
What fallout?
Right?
We're in the middle of summer. Fall's not for weeks.
I'm hoping, listen, I'll be honest with you, I'm hoping that Marty goes back to work for Marati.
Why not?
Right?
If both sides are happy, go for it.
That's right. If they're both making money and this is what they want.
Marty wanted to come on and talk. So he came on and
So
talk.
this is what 802 says. That's why I said, Dan said, Tony kept the money for his paintings. Has Tony ever said he received money for a bunch? 802, I'm gonna answer that. I spoke to Tony, and he kind of was taking the high road when he was in here. Mm-hmm. Okay, Tony didn't take anyone's money. Okay,
no.
Tony asked for a raise. Tony was told no. Tony was supposed to appear on a show coming up. Tony said, if you don't give me a raise, I'm not doing the show. Mm-hmm. And then Marati went to social media. That's what made me, after me and Tony, I said, come on the show. That's right. Stinger says Dan goes public because it's not cool. That's right. You got a problem with Marty, don't go on social media about Marty. You got a problem with Tony, don't go on call him up. Hey, I don't like what you did, or hey, we won't do business together. That's it. End of story. Don't embarrass people.
Right.
I mean,
totally agree.
So again, all I hope is that some people change their ways. Right. Okay, life is short. I mean, Youngblood died at 55 years old.
Yeah.
Don't take advantage of people.
Yeah, and besides, your comeback is his 4-letter words and we wear our sunglasses at night? That song rules. What are you doing? I mean, I was thinking about us making a sunglasses at night video now. You've inspired us. Again, be careful with us. We're creative. Look that word up. You might learn what it means.
Rowley says Tony doesn't even have PayPal. That's correct. So then you know. He doesn't have PayPal. He does not have PayPal. And I'll even, you know what? I'm going to give the show a pop, too. Do you know that we sell Tony's paintings on our website?
Yeah.
Do you know how much we get for those paintings that he sells?
Tell the truth.
Huh?
Preach, brother. Tell the truth.
The cost of shipping.
There you go.
Tony gets every other penny of it. That is the truth.
Do you think that might have something to do with the fact that we've loved him since we were about 12 years old?
I think it has to do with the fact that, you know what? Not everything has
Coming
to
from
be a
Mike.
money grab.
Right.
Not everything has to be a money grab.
Right. I want him to do well. Absolutely.
Modern Day Warrior says, I don't believe Tony. He went on saying Dan's racist and all BS that he was scared to travel. Okay, so Modern, I'm going to speak to that, okay?
I understand him
Tony
saying that. That's fine.
decided, I think,
I get
during that interview that he did not want to get into a tit-for-tat with Dan.
Right.
So he might have used that as a reason. Can you blame the guy? Can you blame the guy? He didn't. See, that's what I'm saying. We didn't call him and say, oh, let's rip Dan apart. I said, speak about it. So he wanted to speak about it. And I think as he was talking, he decided he didn't want to do it anymore.
Perhaps. I don't know
Right?
what's going on in Tony's
Again, I'm only guessing, too.
I don't know what.
By the way, Phil, yes, I would love to wear the Grand Wizard sunglasses. Wasn't the Grand Wizard cool?
He was so awesome.
All right, anyway. Thank you, Maria.
I'm picturing
Anyway, so, again, there's no heat between us and Dan Marotti. Dan's going to do his life. We're going to do our life. I will tell you this. If I hear more stuff on his channel, which I don't go looking for, people are going to tell me. If I hear more stuff, then it's gonna get bad.
I've got my editing
It'll
pen.
get bad.
My editing pen is ready.
It'll get ugly, Dan. So, Dan said...
So you wash your mouth out with soap
right.
and reevaluate
Dan-
and listen to your friend
Dan
Oscar.
said- Dan-
Oscar has good
wait a minute.
advice for you.
Dan said on his show that he told Tony, you open your mouth, forget about it. And I also heard he said
Yeah.
the same thing to Marty Jannetty.
Yeah.
If you open your mouth,
Yeah.
I'm going to say... So,
Right.
Dan, here's the deal.
Threatening
you
her.
say one more thing about our show, then it's on.
Yeah.
I promise. It's on. Maddie, what do you think of that?
Wait. Can you see my eyes?
No, he can't. Because you're wearing sunglasses tonight. What do you think of that, Matt? Before we go to commercial break, if that ass clown says one more thing about this show, it's on.
Fuck yeah.
That's it, baby.
Wow!
It's war.
Matty Kurt! Don't you ever mess with us again.
Can you
Fucker! The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV in Ronkonkoma, New York. Here's a comment for you, Pharaoh, before we get to the next subject. I got to dig it.
What do you got?
Rowley says, PWI, Feud of the Year 2021. Imagine being on the cover of PWI with Marotti.
What? No. Just you and me on the cover, yeah. I can picture that.
So a lot of comments about spies being on, a lot of spies watching. I don't know.
Spies in the House of Love?
Hey, Rick B says Boston. Your friend Rick B says Boston
What's up,
from New York,
Cup?
baby. That is a feud, right? I mean, yeah, we are New Yorkers, and I got to be honest with you. I don't like Boston sports. I mean, I got to be honest.
All right, yeah, we're from New York.
Listen, we don't
Yeah,
want
you're
people
right.
to really get mad, but I mean, we don't. Look, I hate
Wait a
Tom Brady.
minute.
I hate Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hate
not-
the Red Sox.
I
I
respect.
hate the Bruins.
I respect Ted Williams.
Ted Williams is dead.
Oh, that's not right.
Anyway.
That's just not 406 in 1941. What's wrong with you? Then again, Joe DiMaggio won the MVP. Ha ha! Go on.
July 7th marks a very important anniversary of the history of professional wrestling.
Whoa.
One of the most influential storylines and one of the most famous stables in sports history. 25 years ago this week, the new world order was born. The group's roots were planned 6 weeks earlier on May 27th when Scott Hall, formerly Razor Ramon of the World Wrestling Federation, invaded an episode of WCW
You
Nitro.
know who I am.
1 week later, Hall returned to Nitro to reissue his challenge. This time, he was confronted by the franchise star Sting. 1 week after that, Nash
Brings
brought in a little
the big boy.
surprise, right?
That was a big surprise.
And then you have the Great American Bash, where they throw our friend Bischoff
That was great.
through the floor. And
was
then you
great.
have Bash on the beach,
So
where
this is where the big boys play.
Hulk Hogan is revealed as the third member. So we know the key players: Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Hulk Hogan. Let's start off with this.
What about the guy that took the massive beating during that Macho Man?
Yeah,
I mean, my
absolutely.
God. You know, there's some major players in that whole thing.
802 for life, baby. Would the NWO have worked if anybody but Hulk Hogan was the third member, Pharaoh?
No. No.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's your answer?
That's my answer. What is there? Should be something else? Oh, wow, they should have had Orange
Why?
Cassidy.
No.
Orange Cassidy leading the NWO, and he can't even do the too sweet thing because his hands are in his pockets.
Come
No,
on,
it should
man.
be Hogan, of course. Dude, it was the whole thing was about the greatest, most professionally popular wrestler in the world. He's so popular. He was the most popular wrestler ever. Going bad? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I remember the next day at work, people were like, they didn't even watch wrestling. Hulk Hogan has gone bad. Regular people like freaking out about it. That was so major, and no, it never would have worked without Hogan. It was all about Hulk Hogan. Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Back then, when that was happening, did you know Hogan was the third man? Because I keep hearing something, and again, fans out there, please fill me in. It's like I keep on thinking.
I think that's
someone says that Bobby Heenan kind of gave it away. Do you remember that?
what What Bobby did was, as Hogan is coming out, Bobby goes, "Is he the third man?" What are you doing that for?
But what's wrong with that?
Because you gotta wait for him to do the move and turn on them. You don't go, "Is he the third man?" Even slightly planting it into someone's head was wrong to do. He should have been going, "He's out here to put a stop to this. He's out there to save Macho." Instead, is he the third man? And this is one of the greatest
Wow,
guys ever.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's
But-
terrible.
yeah,
I
but
thought,
wait a minute.
But at the
he had the feud with Hogan, like from AWA to WWE to
Yeah.
WCW.
Yeah.
So he had natural heat with Hogan. I don't know. I didn't take it that way.
I don't think that it was a wise thing to do. But I got to be honest, at the time, I wasn't like, yeah, you know what? He did make me go to myself, is he the third man? But no one could ever believe it, even with that little seed that Bobby was questioning, is he the third man? The moment he drops that leg, the whole world goes nuts as far as the wrestling world. That was a shock and a half. It was like, oh my God,
JJ
he
says,
really has gone bad.
I'll get slack for this, but I like Nash and Hall, but NWO, I couldn't stand.
Wow, that's unusual.
That is unusual.
Was it, who wrote that, please?
JJ.
Was that like, did you get sick of it after it got all watered down, bro? Or was it right from the, because in the beginning, the NWO was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
they
they were
tried
outsiders,
and then
right?
they tried to get the idiot up in Boston to join, and the whole thing fell apart.
It's gonna keep going.
Well, until the show's over. After that, I could
Do you
care
think
less.
do you think the NWO would have gotten over if Dan Marotti was the third member?
I don't think that Ted Turner would have kept them on television for another episode. That would have been the end.
Do you think-
Paul Heyman would have been asked to bring ECW to TNT, and ECW would have won the war? ECW.
Do you think Marotti wouldn't liked some of the videos, so he'd ask them to take it down?
You're just going to keep going, aren't you?
You started. Hey, Phil out there says Bobby was foreshadowing, but not subtle.
Right. It's okay, though. I mean, now, especially now, it seems very 2020, like what you say that for. But at the time, again, No matter what little thing Bobby said, trust me, very irrelevant at the time when it was happening. And I was at a part, we're all watching it when he dropped that leg. And I remember half the room was like, and the other half was like me. Oh my God, yeah! Because I wanted to see Hogan do this. I was like, oh my God, he's going to really do it. He's going to be a bad guy. It's been how many years? Honestly, over 10, probably almost 15 since he was with Blassie, with the cape, and hurting people, and being a prick. And I loved him as a bad guy before he ever made it as a good guy. So I've always loved the guy. He was always in my top
Modern
5.
Day Warrior says Hogan stole everything from superstar Billy Graham, even the same color beard.
Okay.
So we've spoken about this, right? So So modern.
Does that mean that Superstar Graham was going to carry the company into the WrestleMania era?
That's the problem.
Please, no.
That's the problem.
It's okay. You know, it is what it is. I mean, while we're at it, Superstar Billy Graham should probably cut a check to guys like Buddy Rogers. You owe him money. Oh, and Gorgeous George, who started the whole thing, wrestlers, I want to be a show.
Hogan, the greatest wrestler of all time.
He's the most popular, most influential, most impactful, and changed the business more so than anyone else ever freaking has. Period. And that's how I feel about that. The only one who can rival him, and it's a short little time period, which goes to show it's still not comparable with Stone Cold.
Great comment.
Do you realize that Hulk Hogan, from 1980 wrestling Andre at Shea Stadium, all the way through to The Rock at WrestleMania, whatever that was, I want to say 18, with The Rock, you're talking 22 years. This wasn't my neck hurts, I'm going home. What? This was 22 years of this. And then he still continued with matches like, I love the flip-flop fish fest with Shawn Michaels. I find that hilarious. I love that match. I love when Hogan got his last match with Randy. I've always enjoyed Hulk Hogan. I'm sorry. At the same time, for those of you that think it's just entertainment for the Pharaoh, no way, man. I'll take Okada and Omega in their trilogy. Oh my God, any day. I love that stuff. So I love the technical, I love the show, but at the end of the day, Hulk Hogan is the greatest, most impactful man that's ever stepped between the ropes. What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do?
Did the NWO ruin wrestling?
No, of course not. Without the NWO, do you think we've got the factions that are going on between MJF and Chris Jericho right now? What? Without them? What are we talking here? What do you think? I mean, we don't have that. The NWO was.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I want you to keep talking about that because that's important stuff.
Go ahead.
But Yard Ape says, why didn't you guys crap on Eugene for putting Cena on his Mount Rushmore over Hogan?
Run that by me again. What's the problem here?
He's asking why we didn't crap on Eugene. Remember, Eugene did the Mount Rushmore.
Right.
That's a really good question.
Okay.
He put Cena on the Mount Rushmore over Hogan.
He didn't have Hogan on his Mount Rushmore? I don't remember. I got to be honest. I'll have to go back and take a look at Eugene.
So let's say he's right, what Yard Ape's saying.
Okay. What's up, Yard Ape? What else you got?
What do you think about that? Do you think that Cena is in the same ballpark? Is he in the same
As
room?
Hulk Hogan?
Is he in the same car?
You know what? In my world,
By the way, Stinger 10 says you're right on the money. He knows his stuff. You know your stuff.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. I got to be honest.
Ralph Brunn says WWE room pro wrestling.
Oh, stop it.
Ralph, we love you, man, but gotta disagree with that, dude. The
What,
WWE,
TNA's great for wrestling?
The WWE hating's got to stop.
No,
Look,
it
the
doesn't.
product's,
If that's how they feel, let them
yeah, but the
feel that
product's
way.
not at its best right now. But I mean, if it wasn't for the WWE, you wouldn't have Monte the Pharaoh, probably.
Yeah, wait a minute. Now hold on here. Anyway, getting back to my thing,
Yard Ape says he didn't put Hogan on the.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that's kind of strange, but that's okay. To me, the two greatest wrestlers ever, just to me, are Hogan and Flair. I don't feel like anyone else is in the ballpark.
You can't put. Look, dude.
Well, you can say I can't, but I look at it this way: Hogan and Flair are pro wrestling, in my opinion, from basically 1981 or so, all the way to 1996 at least. At least. You're going to tell me that Austin and The Rock carried the sport 15 years? Nope. You're going to tell me that CM Punk carried it? I barely carried it 15 months, and he gave Vince the finger.
All right, so
okay? When it comes to body of work, representation of a world champion, and a super long reign. Why do you hate Ric Flair so much? Let's get to the bottom of this.
So let's get to
I
the
need
bottom
to get
of
to
this.
the bottom of this.
So first, I'm gonna start off.
Because I know you'll somehow put Cena ahead of Ric Flair, and I'm
I'm
gonna Ralph all over the table.
I'm gonna say this.
What do you got?
Again, people. I'm gonna say it because I'm not gonna act like I'm some wrestling genius.
There's nothing wrong with
but
Ric
here's the
Flair.
thing.
Do you have to be a
People don't want
mark
to talk
love
bad.
him?
People don't want to talk bad about Nick Bockwinkel, right? Nick
I
Bockwinkel
like
was great.
Nick Bockwinkel.
No, he wasn't. But you know what? You can't say it because people go, "What are you kidding me? He was the
can say
greatest. He was the greatest." Or if you
Shock
say
the audience. Who do you like more, Miz or Nick Bockwinkel? Shock
Miz.
them. There you go.
There you go.
You're entitled to that.
All right, but so let's talk about Flair for a minute.
Yeah, go
Flair is great.
Yes.
Okay? But we got to remember something. The legend of Ric Flair may not have been a legend. I'm going to give you a little timeline. If Kerry Von Erich couldn't get his act together, or he did get his act together, Ric Flair's done.
You're back on the Kerry Von
Hold
Erich.
on. Let me continue.
You love Kerry Von Erich. Go on.
Nature Boy Buddy Landell
Okay.
was going to be teed up as the new champion. He couldn't do it because he's all drugged up.
That's not.
So
that's,
Flair keeps going.
Okay.
Because,
Well, what did we learn about Bob Backlund? When we were saying to ourselves back in the day, how come the belt's not on Snooker? Or how come the belt's not on Valentine? Or how come the belt's not? Because Ric Flair, like Bob Backlund, was the responsible guy who would tour tirelessly all year round, show up for all the dates. Someone tries to take the belt from him, good luck. I don't know, man. Again, to me, those two, you do realize Hogan and Flair are like bacon and eggs. They're forever linked.
I understand that, yes.
You got that, right?
I got it,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying, though?
I got that.
Again, I totally get your point. Like, for example, we were talking about Harley Race.
Phil Heenan helped Bockwinkel, absolutely. Look, I want to keep this conversation going. We got to take a commercial break, especially after last week. The sponsors kind of ripped me a new asshole.
Yeah, well.
We'll be right back.
See in a sec. They ripped you a new what?
You want to star in your own success? Call QuickCast. www.quickcast.com. 866-7-CAST-NOW. That's 866-7-CAST-NOW. QuickCast.
Start your own success.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack. Elm Logistics for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. We want to thank everybody for joining us on this wonderful Thursday. So a lot of great comments, Pharaoh, coming out. Phil talking about Backlund couldn't really be double-crossed. Absolutely. I mean, that's why he held the belt for such a long time, right?
You know it.
You couldn't mess with the WWF at the time. Snooker, So going back to Flair, just to finish up the conversation, my thought process is this: is that Ric Flair, we in a past show we said our favorite or the greatest matches of all time, and one of your greatest matches is obviously the trio, which everybody picks is Steamboat
Flair
versus
Steamboat.
Flair, right?
Yeah. Yep.
People love that match.
Yeah.
People love that
They're all
match
good.
so much that 3,000 people
Why do you always
went to the audience that night.
Why was that, by the way? Can you explain that one? And don't tell me no one cared. What was the story? Why was it such a low draw? Was there like a blizzard or something? I don't
Because I'm going to tell you why.
Because it wasn't Hulk Hogan.
Because it was Ric Flair. That's right.
No, stop it.
It was Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. That's terrible.
Look,
who won the greatest Royal Rumble ever? Ric Flair.
he did.
Yeah, he did, especially when he was hiding half the time and Heaton had placed bets on Flair winning. And, where is he? Where is he? I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose my mortgage.
That's
that
right.
was one of the greatest. That's my favorite Royal Rumble. Ric Flair was awesome. What about I'm Sorry I Love You when Shawn kicks Rick's head off?
Great.
That's amazing.
Listen, dude, Ric Flair is one of the greats of all time. He is, but I just have a problem putting him on the same level with Hulk Hogan.
Right. Is it because of box office success? Like when you think of John Cena, do you just think to yourself, the guy just made more money than Ric Flair?
I think when John Cena was on the television, I used to watch.
Okay.
And this is me. Hulk Hogan came on. You're 100% right.
I always watch.
Austin was probably, if Austin would have had a 20-year career.
Right, Austin.
Forget it, blowout.
Austin
if The Rock had a 20-year career.
Right.
Blowout.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But that wasn't the case.
Right.
So even my story with Flair doesn't stand, right? Because guess what? All the things I said should have happened didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Where do you put The Undertaker as far as his career? Because he's very interesting.
Very interesting.
You know what I'm saying? And the weirdest thing is that when you think of world championship title reigns with The Undertaker, you almost have to struggle with it a
Here's
little
something
bit.
interesting, man.
It's
Yard
weird.
Ape says out there,
Yeah.
I remember in my city there was a Flair Piper headlining. It was a C show.
Nice.
The event was canceled.
Oh, what year was that, bro? Yard Ape, tell us what year that was. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Maybe it was the Roddy Piper we saw with the big tummy at that
was
Royal Rumble from.
Anyway, back to the original question.
was rough.
Did the NWO ruin wrestling? And
No,
I'm going to ask.
no.
I'm going to go a little deeper into the question.
Yeah.
Back in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
So growing up, right?
Yeah.
When there was a heel.
You grew up. I didn't.
Okay, but
Okay, now that
when it
you're
was a heel,
mature, go
did
ahead.
you right? So we're talking about that fan that tried to jump MJF. Someone said earlier,
Yeah.
MJF's the best. We were talking
I
about
love
that.
MJF,
So
yeah.
MJF got if it was real, which by the way, people, it was fake. That was a fake.
There's one angle, guys.
Fake.
It's so,
fake.
it's
fake.
so fake. Oh
But
my
anyway,
God.
saying it's real, that's heel heat, right? Mm-hmm. When we hated people, we hated them.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Like
Sure.
Dan Maratti's a heel, right? So
Oh no, he's not. I'm a heel.
okay. So,
Oh no.
You want the heel heat.
He gets to be the
so
goofy face.
do you think
I don't
the
think so.
Stone Colds,
Yeah.
the Rocks,
Yeah.
and the NWO
Yeah.
made bad guys being cool ruined wrestling?
No, I don't think it did. I mean, we got to the point in pro wrestling where blurring the lines was the way it was going.
But look what's happened to wrestling now. It's ruined. People hate it.
Let's not forget that those people we're talking about back then were characters. It wasn't about the flipping and flopping, and finishing moves weren't the first thing you saw. When Stone Cold hit you with a stunner, 1, 2, 3, and he didn't do it in the first 2 seconds of a match. Kick out! Hey! Cartwheel, like you said 1,000 times. We're in a fist fight at the bar. Up there goes Mike. He's going to kick off the wall, do a somersault, and then lightly touch his toe on the guy's throat.
Say it's the wrestling and the storyline, not the blurring of the lines.
Absolutely. Wrestling storylines today, for the most part, absolutely are lacking. They are lacking. And as far as the physical stuff, come on, man. What happened to storytelling? What happened to a build-up? What happened to holds? What happened to punches truly being thrown? What happened to people going, is this real? I want that back. I want to see that again.
Right.
You know, and if you are going to have a lot of flipping and flopping, you better give me Okada Omega, where they physically destroy each other in between all those flips and flops. Like, really destroy each other. I want to see a contest. I want to believe in that contest. And I'm tired of watching matches with stupid, goofy finishers. I'm tired of being told that I have to believe that a guy who keeps his hands in his pockets is going to kick my ass. Good luck.
So
Take the hands out of your pockets. You might have a chance.
so
You got to be kidding me. You don't have a chance.
let me ask you this.
Not against you.
We were
I don't know
talking
about me.
we were talking earlier, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Has Roman Reigns, talk about a heel,
Love Roman
has he
Reigns.
lost?
I
a match?
love Roman Reigns.
Has he lost a match in the last 4 years?
No,
Could
I don't
someone
think
help
he's
us
ever
out there?
lost.
When is the last time Roman Reigns has lost a match?
Assignment for the Monte and the Pharaoh folks at home. Please tell us the last time Roman Reigns got pinned. Somebody look it up for us. I mean, when was the last time Roman Reigns lost? And what's his record over the last 7 or 8 years since this push began in 2014 with the Shield?
I'll tell you what, we
I
posted on social media, AEW's in trouble, right? Because here are the upcoming matches that are possibilities for Roman Reigns.
Bedazzle me. Go ahead. Bedazzle me.
Money in the Bank's already confirmed, right? Edge,
Yeah.
right? Good match. Live crowd.
That's great.
It's going to be hot.
Roman Reigns Edge is great. Go on.
SummerSlam. This is a done deal, too.
We got Roman Reigns Edge too. Yeah, that's
Right?
good.
So,
What do you got?
John Cena, Roman Reigns.
Wow. I hear I hear a cashier going cha-ching.
Could you?
Cha-ching. I
The
want to see that.
return of
And
Cena.
But here's the best part. I want to see Roman destroy him.
Yeah.
Oh, Roman, just wreck him. Be that tribal heel. Kill him. Just crush him. Roman has come such a long way. They should have pulled this trigger a long time ago. And I grant the fans at home that there was times where Roman's push as a face was maddening. It was like, oh my God, please. So I totally agree with all of that. But I always saw this coming. And guys at home, come on, be real. They've done this so well. He's got Heyman. He's got the tribal thing going on, the family. And by the way, what has Mr. Russo done again? I mean, what are you doing? We're in the middle of a main event storyline, and you got yourself
Russell
a
Campbell
DUI.
says,
Gonna get someone
Reigns-
hurt already. Stop drinking.
Russell Campbell says Reigns lost 2 years ago. Got to
Okay.
look that up. That's pretty good.
Wow, he hasn't been
So
pinned
let's
in
talk.
2
Let's
years.
talk about Uso real
I
quick.
wonder how far back.
5 times.
I can't anymore.
5
Listen,
DUIs.
Someone's going to die.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill somebody one of these times.
He's got to go to jail.
What is wrong with him?
He's got to go to jail.
I'm actually this.
If
is
the
what I
WWE
really
doesn't
do get
fire
upset
him,
about it.
if they do not fire him,
Yeah.
it's utterly. He's got to go.
Dude, I was talking
Screw the storyline.
You know what's funny? I was talking to a fan today who's just a huge pro wrestling fan, and I could see them like, no, don't fire him. Wait, I was like, what do you want to do with him? Don't you think he should be suspended? No. It's like, at what point do you drop the idol worship or and go, you know what, bro? I don't care if you wrestle. You're an ass. Why are you drinking?
Hold
You're
on.
gonna get someone killed.
Don the Barber writes, it's almost time for Party with Marty, so I'm going to do the best WCW. By the way, that other show, it's taped. Marty gets high. He mumbles a couple of things about something in the past. The host asks some more stupid questions. He mumbles a little more, and then the show ends. All right, next.
You take my credit card, motherfucker. He's got a nasty right, though, man. He really does. He really does. He's got a nasty right. I hope he uses it on, Ball Bag from Beantown.
And then Survivor Series, you got possibly Lashley
Ball
against
bag?
Reigns. Ball bag.
Lashley versus Reigns. And
And then you can finish off
Okay.
WrestleMania, and I think it's
You better make this count.
The Rock.
Oh, my God. The Rock versus Roman Reigns?
There you go.
Where did you get this? Is this something that Vince is thinking about? Because it sounds like something Vince was
This is
thinking
what I
about.
think is happening.
Vince is pretty smart.
This is our goal.
Yeah, he's pretty smart.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us. We want to talk about some upcoming shows on July 31st. We call it Saturday Date Night as we have ECW star Joel Gertner.
Well. I love Joel Gertner. Is he going to bring his fur coat, I hope? And his scarfy warfy? He's wait a minute, he's one hairy dude. Come to think
Were you a fan of his?
I was a fan of ECW big time. So, yeah, I used to love when Joe Gertner would come in and run his mouth. I thought it was hilarious, man. You know, the pelvis that killed Elvis or something like that. The guy was
And then after that,
funny guy.
we've got that same night, right after Joel, we have MTV star Marissa Jade. Will be in the second interview on that
You see
night.
what happens when you say this? The Pharaoh is sweating.
Are you getting goosebumps?
Did the folks at home see what she looks like?
Oh, my
I'm
God.
sweating here. This is not good. All right, relax me now.
Breathe deep.
Show me an ugly pro wrestler retired.
On August 6th, we have a tribute to ECW legend New Jack, who has been in the studio twice, once with his partner Mustafa and by himself.
Yep.
This event will be featuring ECW stars Mustafa and Super Crazy.
I'm thrilled to meet Super Crazy for the first time. His bouts with Tajiri back in the ECW days were fantastic. And every time you mention New Jack, I still get rocked by it. It really bothers me that New Jack is gone. It really bothers me. Mustafa was an awesome guest, though. It'll be nice to see him again.
Smartphone 3 says, shout out to Smoky Black Eyes.
Alrighty.
And then on August 12th, which I'm very excited for,
What's
the
that?
First Lady of Professional Wrestling, Missy Hyatt, is joining Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast.
You're gonna wear a suit, probably, aren't you?
I'm wearing a suit for Missy
Wait,
Hyatt.
you can't do that because I don't dress.
We're
like
gonna have to go
that.
shopping for you for that event.
All right, hold on. Little poll.
Go ahead.
Does anybody really want to see the Pharaoh in a suit?
Yes.
No. I want them to answer.
They're already
not you.
answering.
What? Don't say yes. Well, who's saying yes? This is no. Say no. I don't want to wear a suit. They're uncomfortable.
Phil writes, Missy Hyatt and Baby Doll's pictures were on the wall in the back in the day. You know, let me ask you something.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you that question.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Who was hotter, Missy Hyatt or Baby Doll?
Missy Hyatt.
By far, right?
Yeah, in my book, yeah. In my book, yeah, absolutely. Who's the hottest diva ever? And you're the guy. You're the guy that has great opinions on divas. Come on, who's the greatest diva?
Oh, I'm gonna.
We're talking looks, though, okay?
Just
For
looks.
all of you get offended, you can hold your ears or whatever, but just looks. I'd like to know who's the one that made Monty pop his Pop-Tart.
Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose, very interesting.
The fans are saying they want to see you in a tuxedo.
No, come on, guys. With
All
the
right.
hat?
Want to thank you for everybody joining. You've been watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. Catch us every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. on the Monte The Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monte The Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor. And again, if you live in New York, you can catch us on Channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30. And for early risers, Channel 115, 6 a.m. to 6:30. Also on Friday, 2 a.m. to 2:30, where you can catch another episode.
Yeah.
Pharaoh, any parting words?
I just want to thank the fans for all their support this past week. You know, whether you love us or you hate us, it's all good. We hope you tune in every week. For those of you who like to write about the Pharaoh after midnight, I absolutely adore you guys. Keep up the good work. And remember, most of all, be true, be you. Later.